Now, in my activity diagram here, you can see I have the user who's going to be the business user actioning the send to Cloudflare. So the user will be clicking send to Cloudflare button, which I demoed earlier. So this will send an API action call, and then the API call will be sending a post request straight to my Microsoft Azure Function app, and straight away we do get a response from the Function app, which then shows us a toast notification to the user saying your action has been successfully clicked or has been successfully actioned. However, in the background, the Microsoft Azure Function app will be doing a series of orchestrations as follows. The first thing we do is get an auth password grant from Content Hub, and then this allows us to create an MC client which is able to connect to our Content Hub instance and do more actions as follows. The next thing we do is to try and execute the create public links web script, which will check for any linked assets to our blog post to make sure they have public links, which we are going to be using to access the asset file when we are trying to download them and push them to the Cloudflare. And then we get success if all goes well. The next thing we do from the function app is to execute the get data web script. This allows us to get the JSON file from the Content Hub in one go instead of looping several times. This script has done all the aggregation of the data we need. So with one API call, we're able to receive back the request body in essence, which we're going to be passing down to Cloudflare stream. Now we make a decision. Do we have a Cloudflare ID? So if it's null, it's the first time we are creating this new video. So we are going to use the create video API to Cloudflare stream, and then this should successfully give us back an ID, which is a Cloudflare ID, for us to be able to update our Content Hub to say now this blog post has been synced down to Cloudflare stream. So we are able to update Content Hub at that point. However, if the Cloudflare ID wasn't null, it means we have done this before. So we are doing an update to this video asset. So in which case then we use the update video API to Cloudflare, which then of course will give us back some form of a JSON response where we can extract more metadata about the video which has been updated. And then we also do receive an asynchronous ingestion notifications. There's a way you register for a webhook, which can then be listening in for any of the ingestion notifications in case something goes wrong during the ingestion of the videos. Now, the final thing we do is we try and also ingest the subtitles of the video by calling this ingest video subtitles API, which goes all the way to Cloudflare subtitles API, and then this should return us back some JSON objects showing us some of the metadata regarding the process we have just triggered. And as I've said above there's also a way you can subscribe to a webhook, which can also be sending you ingestion notifications until all the notifications have been actioned properly. And of course, eventually, once everything's done, we do get a completed notification message, which is being sent to our Content Hub. And then this appears to the user via an email notification, and the user can come back and then check that their content item indeed has been published. And we do have a link to Cloudflare stream, and we are able to share this link to our users for streaming the video on our channels, let's say on our social media or on our website, by accessing the content